What about making mushroom jerky? I think I saw you mentioned that in your video, and I was really curious about that. Have you done that? With
Yes,
making
that
that?
is a go-to for this one. I Making mushroom jerky is my favorite way to preserve most mushrooms, especially polypores. I don't find myself reaching for just dehydrated mushroom very often when I'm cooking. Usually I have fresh mushrooms. We have a very long season for mushrooms here. So if I do dehydrate them to preserve them, it's something that I want to just grab as a snack. And jerky is great. I do a base of sweet, salty oil and usually something spicy because I do like spicy foods. And you can get really creative with it. I usually will boil them first, then slice them into thin pieces and leave them in the marinade overnight. I'll add a little bit of the water that I boiled them in to kind of thin out the marinade and get all the pieces covered. And then that water that you boil them in, you can add your tougher bits that you set to the side back in and boil that. And then you have a great broth there.
Mm,
And then I just stick those on the dehydrator and let them go until they are kind of flexible, but not much water content left, and that's it. And that works for, most polypores. There's also a method where you can blend the mushroom, and I've done that with tougher polypores, like the black staining polypore, and it works pretty well too, but I do like just getting that chunk of mushroom, dehydrating it that way.
gotcha.
That's interesting. So if you blend it, you're like grinding it up and then making like maybe a patty or something like that, and dehydrating that.
Yeah, I have a tray in my dehydrator that is it's almost like a very shallow bowl,
Yeah.
like a very shallow bowl, and you just pour it out. I got the idea from a video that, Chaotic Forager posted. She did one,
Mm.
I think might have been last fall, about the black staining polypore, and then I came across black staining polypore and just copied her video. Uh, yeah,
That's cool.
it was pretty good.
Oh
I
man,
didn't season it very well or it would have been better.
I've never done any mushroom jerkies at all, but I've always been interested in it. So it sounds like you still like you're getting that boiling step in, which probably helps and also cooks your mushroom all the way through and all that. So you don't have to worry about any bacteria really.
Mhm.
Like that. Have you done that with any other mushrooms so far?
Yeah, chicken of the woods is another good one. Hen of the woods makes a great jerky. Oyster mushrooms, they really hold in the flavor.
The oysters?
Yeah,
They've got
those,
they've got all the
yeah.
big gills, they, like, grab onto the marinade. They make a great jerky. Shiitakes, my logs are flushing right now, and I'm checking them, like, 20 times a day. I brought a chair out there so I can sit and look at my shiitake
Ha
logs and
hang
just
out
try to
with the
find new
mushrooms.
pins. Oh, yeah.
That's
I
so
stare at them,
fun.
I'm like, "I'm
"Grow,
terrible
grow,
at this."
grow."
Like, I won't see them until they're like quarter size. I'm like, "I stare at these so much." Like, I've got to be finding these little pins. I've only found a couple of them. I usually don't see them until they're big enough that it's embarrassing for me that I didn't notice them earlier.
Yeah.